600 autonomous drones surround NATO Rapid Response Force in eastern Poland. Then, artificial intelligence makes a decision that changes warfare forever. What happened in the next 18 minutes will be taught at every military academy on Earth. And nobody saw it coming. On October 30th, 2025, 2:17 a.m. Suwalki Gap, eastern Poland. NATO's Enhanced Forward Presence Battle Group conducts night training exercises. 1,000 personnel, 47 armored vehicles, 12 M1A2 Abrams tanks, 18 Bradley fighting vehicles. Combined equipment value, $890 million. Standard training operation, except this time they're being watched by 600 eyes in the sky, eyes that don't blink, don't sleep, don't hesitate. The drones launched from 6 locations simultaneously, dispersed sites across 40 miles. Each swarm contained 100 units, Chinese-designed, autonomous coordination. No remote pilots, no communication signals to jam, pure artificial intelligence. Each drone, 3 feet wingspan, 22 pounds total weight, 8 pounds of shaped charge explosive. Cost per unit, $12,000. Total swarm value, $7.2 million. About to engage $890 million worth of NATO armor. The math seemed wrong. It wasn't. NATO forces had no warning. Radar systems were active, scanning for aircraft, for missiles, for conventional threats. But these drones flew at 400 feet, below optimal radar coverage, using terrain masking, following river valleys, avoiding detection. At 2:23 a.m., they reached positions, formed a perimeter. 600 drones, surrounding the entire NATO battle group. Nobody noticed, not yet. The swarm's AI made calculations. Target identification, threat assessment, attack prioritization. It identified every vehicle, every position, every weakness. M1A2 Abrams tanks. Top armor thinner than side armor. Target the engine deck. Bradleys. Troop compartment vulnerable from above. Target hatches, command vehicles, communications arrays exposed. Target antennas first. The AI didn't think like humans. It thought like mathematics. Cold, precise, optimal. At 2:28 a.m., a Polish border guard spotted movement. Low altitude, multiple contacts. He radioed NATO command. Possible drone activity, northwest sector. The warning arrived, but understanding took time. How many drones? What type? Hostile or reconnaissance? Questions without immediate answers. NATO forces went to alert status. Weapons systems activated. Air defense prepared. They expected maybe a dozen drones, maybe reconnaissance, maybe harassment, not 600, not attack, not AI coordination. What's your call against a drone swarm? Type A for immediate counterattack. Type B for defensive perimeter and wait. Comment below. The first wave struck at 2:31 a.m., 200 drones, diving from 400 feet, terminal velocity, targeting spread across the entire battle group, no single focus, no predictable pattern. The AI distributed attacks for maximum effect. 20 drones per major target, 40 against command positions. The sky filled with small dark shapes, engines whining, closing at 80 miles per hour. NATO soldiers looked up, saw the swarm, opened fire. Small arms fire erupted across the training ground. M4 rifles, M240 machine guns, tracers lit the darkness. Soldiers fired at diving drones. Hit rate, approximately 8%. Each drone, small target, fast-moving, erratic flight path. Traditional infantry weapons weren't designed for this. The drones didn't care about bullets, didn't evade, just dove. Struck, detonated. First impact at 2:31:47, Bradley fighting vehicle. Drone hit the troop compartment roof, shaped charge penetrated, explosion inside the vehicle. No casualties. Crew had already dismounted for the exercise. But the Bradley was mission killed, electronics fried, armor breached. At 2:31:52, 3 more impacts. 2 M1A2 tanks, 1 command vehicle. The tank's reactive armor defeated 1 drone each. 3rd drone per tank found the engine deck. Explosions, Fire, engines damaged, mobility killed. NATO air defense engaged at 2:32:15. Two Avenger systems, Stinger missiles, designed for aircraft and helicopters. Minimum engagement altitude, 200 feet. The drones were attacking from 100 feet now, below minimum. The Stingers couldn't lock, couldn't track, couldn't engage. Air defense crews switched to guns. 50 caliber machine guns, manual targeting. Hit 4 drones, then 6, then 8. But 200 drones were already diving. Math was brutal. By 2:33 a.m., 47 drones had impacted. 18 missed. Malfunctions or destroyed by defensive fire. But 29 found targets. 8 Bradleys damaged. 4 Abrams mobility killed. 3 command vehicles destroyed. 2 supply trucks burning. The first wave achieved 15% mission kill rate against the most advanced military alliance in history, using $7,000 drones. The cost-exchange ratio was devastating. $12,000 drone versus $9 million tank. And the drone was winning. NATO command made a decision at 2:33:30. Call for air support. F-16s scrambled from Malbork Air Base. Flight time, 11 minutes. But the second wave was already inbound. Another 200 drones. These carried different payloads. Anti-personnel fragmentation. Targeting dismounted infantry. Soldiers in the open. The AI had analyzed first wave results. Adapted strategy. Now hunting humans. The second wave arrived at 2:35 a.m., lower altitude, 50 feet, skimming the ground, using vehicle wrecks for cover, popping up, attacking, disappearing. Soldiers dove for cover, behind vehicles, into trenches, under equipment. The drones pursued. Fragmentation charges detonated 15 feet above ground, optimal height for maximum casualty radius. Shrapnel screamed through the air. 47 NATO personnel wounded in the first minute. None killed. Body armor worked, helmets worked, but injuries accumulated. NATO forces adapted. Lessons learned under fire. Machine gun crews focused fire on approach paths. Created kill zones. Shot down 23 drones before impact. Infantry used vehicles for cover. Minimized exposure, reduced casualties. Officers coordinated defensive sectors. Overlapping fields of fire. This was NATO training. NATO doctrine. Adapt, overcome, survive. The second wave achieved 8% casualty rate. Lower than first. NATO was learning. Fast. At 2:37 a.m., something changed. The remaining 200 drones didn't attack. They circled, observing. The AI was learning too, analyzing NATO defensive adaptations, calculating new approach vectors, new tactics, new solutions. For 90 seconds, the drones just watched. Soldiers reloaded, repositioned, treated wounded, prepared for the next wave. It came at 2:38:30. Third wave, 200 drones. New tactics. They attacked in sequence, not simultaneously. 5 drones, then 5 more, then 5 more. Continuous pressure, no pause, no rest. NATO defensive fire, focused on each group. Destroyed most, but couldn't stop all. And the continuous attacks prevented reorganization, prevented recovery, ground crews exhausted, ammunition depleting. The AI understood attrition, understood exhaustion, used both. What would you have done as NATO commander facing adaptive AI drones? Retreat, hold position, or counterattack the launch sites? Share your tactical decision. At 2:41 a.m., F-16s arrived, 2 aircraft, armed with 20mm cannons, 511 rounds each. They engaged the drone swarm, gun runs at 400 knots, targeting computers designed for aircraft, not small drones. First pass, 47 rounds fired, 3 drones destroyed, inefficient. The pilots adapted, slowed to 350 knots, tighter turns, shorter bursts. Second pass, 38 rounds, 7 drones down. Better, but 186 drones remained, and the F-16s had maybe 4 more passes before Winchester. Out of ammunition. The drones ignored the F-16s, didn't evade, didn't engage, just continued mission. attacking ground forces. The AI calculated F-16s aren't the primary threat. Ground forces are the target. Stay focused. Accept losses from air. Maintain pressure on ground. This was machine logic, inhuman, efficient, terrifying. By 2:44 a.m., NATO forces had lost 60% combat effectiveness, 19 vehicles destroyed or disabled, 127 personnel wounded, 8 killed, ammunition critical, morale shaken, but discipline held, training held. At 2:45 a.m., NATO command ordered withdrawal, fighting retreat, preserve forces, 2 kilometers east to secondary positions. Pre-prepared defensive positions, better cover, concentrated fire. The withdrawal began at 2:46 a.m., organized, controlled. Vehicles that could move, moved. Infantry provided covering fire. Wounded were evacuated first. By 2:49 a.m., the battle group reached secondary positions. Defensive perimeter established. Remaining ammunition redistributed. The drones followed, harassing, attacking stragglers, but not pressing. The AI calculated, enemy withdrawing. Mission parameters achieved. Conserve remaining assets. At 2:51 a.m., the drone swarm disengaged. 340 drones remained operational. They climbed to 800 feet, formed up, departed northeast, back toward launch sites, disappearing into darkness. NATO forces watched them go, exhausted, battered, survivors. The engagement lasted 23 minutes, changed everything. Casualty count final, 8 NATO personnel killed, 127 wounded, vehicle losses, 19 destroyed, 14 damaged, total equipment loss, $287 million, drone losses, 260 destroyed, cost, $312 million, exchange ratio, NATO lost, 287 million, attackers lost, $312 million, that's 92 to 1. The economics of warfare just shifted, dramatically. Tactical analysis revealed shocking truths. Traditional air defense systems failed against small autonomous drones. Infantry weapons inadequate. Even F-16s struggled. The swarm's AI adapted faster than human defenders. Learned from each attack wave. Modified tactics in real time. No communications meant no jamming. No remote pilots meant no decapitation strikes. This was autonomous warfare, and NATO's conventional superiority meant nothing. Intelligence investigation revealed the source. 6 launch sites, abandoned farms, empty warehouses, civilian vehicles, no military signatures, no radar emissions, no communications traffic. The drones had been positioned weeks earlier, waiting, inactive, then activated remotely, single burst transmission. After that, completely autonomous, no way to trace. No way to prevent, no way to stop without destroying every drone individually. Technology assessment showed Chinese design, but commercially available components, 3D printed airframes, consumer electronics, off-the-shelf AI algorithms, total manufacturing cost per drone, $8,000, retail price, $12,000. Anyone could build these, anyone could deploy them, anyone could create swarms. The technology had democratized. Warfare would never be the same. NATO response was immediate. Emergency doctrine review. New counter-drone systems prioritized. Directed energy weapons. High-powered microwaves. Rapid-fire cannons specifically for drone defense. Training programs updated. Tactics revised. Within 48 hours, every NATO unit received new guidance. How to fight drone swarms. How to survive. How to adapt. If this analysis has been valuable to you, take 2 seconds to hit that thumbs up button. It helps us continue producing this level of tactical breakdown. Strategic implications were global. Every military on Earth watched, studied, learned. American defense contractors received billions in emergency funding. Counter-drone systems, AI defensive algorithms, swarm versus swarm warfare. The arms race had entered a new phase, autonomous versus autonomous, algorithm versus algorithm, machine versus machine. For smaller nations, this was revolution, A $7.2 million investment had achieved 60% effectiveness against NATO's best. That meant small militaries could challenge superpowers, could defend territory, could impose costs. Asymmetric warfare had new tools, new possibilities. Power projection became more expensive, more dangerous, more uncertain. China denied involvement, obviously, but satellite imagery showed similar systems in PLA service. Testing ranges in Xinjiang, training facilities in Inner Mongolia. This wasn't a one-off demonstration. This was deployed capability, ready for operational use. Taiwan understood the implications immediately. So did Japan. So did every nation within China's sphere of influence. Russia paid attention. Their military doctrine already emphasized unmanned systems. This engagement validated that approach. Expect Russian investment in drone swarms to accelerate. Expect their tactics to incorporate these lessons. The Ukrainian conflict had already shown drone effectiveness. This engagement proved it at scale, against peer adversaries. The future was autonomous. Russia was adapting. For the United States, wake-up call. American forces rely on technological superiority, on expensive platforms, on overwhelming firepower. But what happens when cheap drones can mission-kill M1 tanks? When $12,000 systems can defeat $9 million vehicles? The Pentagon had questions. Congress demanded answers. Defense budgets would shift. Priorities would change. The era of expensive manned platforms was being challenged. This engagement proved that warfare is evolving faster than militaries can adapt. AI coordination enables tactics impossible for human commanders. Autonomous systems make decisions at machine speed. Swarm attacks overwhelm traditional defenses. The Suwalki Gap incident wasn't an anomaly, it was a preview of battlefields to come, of wars to be fought, of futures to be prevented. NATO learned hard lessons. 8 soldiers died teaching them. 127 were wounded contributing to them. Those sacrifices provided critical knowledge, knowledge that will save lives, will inform doctrine, will shape the future of warfare. The training exercise became the most important combat data NATO has collected in decades. Expensive, painful, essential. The hours of research behind this kind of detailed military analysis don't happen by accident. Subscribe to support our mission of bringing you the most comprehensive tactical breakdowns available. Was this drone swarm attack a warning demonstration or a failed assassination attempt on NATO leadership? What was the real objective? Drop your analysis in the comments. The 340 drones that survived returned to their launch sites, landed automatically, were recovered. By whom? Unknown, investigation ongoing. But they proved their point, proved that autonomous swarms work, proved that AI warfare is real, proved that the future arrived faster than anyone expected. Those drones didn't need to destroy the entire battle group. They just needed to prove they could. Mission accomplished. NATO forces that survived will remember October 15th forever. The night the machines came. The night 600 drones turned training into combat. The night warfare changed. Some will have nightmares about the whining sound of drone engines, about the darkness filled with small, dark shapes, about the helplessness of fighting enemies too small, too fast, too many. But they'll also remember they survived. They adapted. They fought back. And they lived to share the lessons. Technology doesn't care about tradition, doesn't respect history, doesn't honor past victories. It just evolves, improves, advances. The military that adapts fastest wins. The military that clings to old doctrine loses. NATO learned this at Suwalki Gap, at the cost of 8 lives and $287 million. But they learned. That's what professionals do. Learn, adapt, overcome, survive. What scenario should we analyze next? What weapon system needs examination? What tactical situation deserves deeper breakdown? Your suggestions drive our content. Comment below and subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into modern military operations. This is Navy Force USA, where we bring you the analysis others can't or won't provide. See you in the next one. The future of warfare isn't coming. It's here, small, autonomous, intelligent, and absolutely lethal. The question isn't whether militaries will adapt, it's whether they'll adapt fast enough. 600 drones proved that hesitation is fatal, that old thinking kills soldiers, that evolution is mandatory. NATO got the message, written in fire and blood across Polish training grounds. The world is watching, learning, preparing. Because next time, it might not be training, it might be war, and the swarms will be bigger.